Hello and welcome to the United Stand. This is your Manchester United transfer news daily, where we talk about all the latest Manchester United transfer news and give it that real fan opinion. Lots to talk about today. Cristiano Ronaldo, Ousmane Dembele, Douglas Costa, a little bit on De Gea and a couple of others as well. But let's start off, before we get on to the probably more realistic targets. Cristiano Ronaldo has come out and said that there is no chance of him coming back to Manchester United. Is it a shock? I suppose for some people it's sad. I think for years we've been clinging on, some of us, that he would come back to Manchester United. I think I said last summer that it was either last summer or never. He's 32 now. The thing about Ronaldo is he's the best player in the world. And I know people straight away say Messi, but if I could pick between any player in the world, I would still take Cristiano Ronaldo, because no matter where you put him, Portugal, Spain, England, he is just dedicated his life to achieving things. And Messi may be the more talented footballer, but Ronaldo will get you more out of it. And fantastic player. Doesn't surprise me that it's sort of indicated that he wouldn't come back to Manchester United. I suppose many of us always wish that he would come back. I'd still take him back now, because especially with Zlatan, if you had him as your number 9, he'd probably score you 80 goals in the Premier League. I'm joking, but he'd get you 40, no problem. But he's at the top. He's just won back-to-back Champions League. Next year, in his mind, he'll be wanting to do 3 in a row, because it's never been done. Why would you come to Manchester United? It would be as horrible as it sounds, in a footballing sense, it would be a big step down. Real Madrid, reigning champions of Spain, reigning champions of Europe 2 years in a row, go for the 3, keep breaking these records, because he'll score a lot more goals in the Pub League than he will in the Premier League. And I say that with the utmost respect. There's very good teams in Spain, but there's only about 4 of them. The rest of them, it's a Pub League, and he will score 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 hat-tricks over there in a season. He won't do that over here. So stat padding, but also winning the big trophies, being well rested for the Champions League. Why would he do it? Nice climate. He's done it at United. It was never going to happen, but I still think he's a fantastic player. Still love him as a well, you know, as I say, almost a United legend, because what he did for United in the years he was here, for those who remember it, it was just unprecedented. Most of it on the wing as well. He was actually playing out on the wing and scoring all those goals. One-man team, not quite, because we had some great players, but he was just a colossal. Week in, week out. Fantastic player. But I suppose we need to draw a line under Ronaldo. We really do. The next player I want to talk about is one that you lot have been mentioning for a long time, and I've been resisting mentioning him because I just don't think we'd ever get him. Ousmane Dembele at Dortmund. He's just turned 28. He hasn't. He's shot up very quick. He's just turned 20 years of age. Borussia Dortmund player. I think he's contracted till about 2021, so it's sort of irrelevant. He only signed for them in 2016 on a 5-year deal. I think it was from Rennes. Very, very, very fast. Very, very skillful. 2-footed. Can play, like most people these days, he can play centrally, but he's probably more effective off the left. He can play on the right as well. Scores goals, assists, very good at dribbling. I think he'll probably be one of the best players in the world inside 3 or 4 years' time, especially when you think that Messi and Ronaldo probably won't be around then. This is a player that I think could step into that gap and sort of be up there with the likes of Neymar. Fantastic talent. I'd love Manchester United to go for him. The rub on it is that Barcelona are linked to him, and he's openly a Barcelona fan. So unfortunately, we just still can't seem to break that as the Premier League, or more importantly Manchester United. All these top players still have it in their minds that they want to go to Real Madrid and Barcelona. It's changing. Football is changing. There's more money in the Premier League. It's more competitive. But it's traditions. Real Madrid, like Manchester United and Barcelona, are the biggest clubs in the world. And they consistently win more Champions Leagues. And there is that attraction there. The English game needs to get back to being what it was like a few years ago, where it was competitive in the Champions League and winning it most years. That's the challenge for Manchester United. That's the reason I don't think we'd get Dembele. Another one, he's only just turned 20, and I think Mourinho wants players that are more experienced. He's got a number of players around 20 years of age already. He's got Martial, he's got Rashford, he's got Fosu Mensah, he's got Twansibi, he's got Angel Gomez coming through. He will want players now that, like Perisic, a few of those to balance up the squad. But if we should be looking at Dortmund. We should be looking at Dortmund. I said this last night. Aubameyang, Pulisic, Dembele, Weigl, who though he's injured. There are players at Dortmund that would definitely benefit Manchester United. And if we sign Dembele, I agree with what a lot of you say from Dortmund. I'd be absolutely ecstatic. He is one of the most exciting wingers, attacking midfielders, dribblers, speed merchants out there in the game at the moment. And if Barcelona are looking at him, then obviously he's a decent player. But I just don't think we are. Douglas Costa, also staying with Germany, but going to Bayern Munich. Douglas Costa, a little bit older, slightly more, well, he's more experienced and way, way more likely. And I think he would fit what Mourinho would want more than Dembele because he is experienced. He's played at Shakhtar, he's won titles there, he's won titles at Bayern Munich. He's not been as in favour as much this season at Bayern Munich as he was the previous season. Ancelotti's not taken to him as much, but very, very fast, very, very skillful. Maybe not as fast as Dembele, not as two-footed, that's for sure. He's more left-footed, but very, very good player. Very good player. And I think if Bayern Munich are looking to get rid of him, then he would tick the boxes for Jose Mourinho because he is experienced. He is fast. He can play on the wing. But would we be going for Costa and Perisic is what I would be thinking. I personally would like us to. I think I'd like to have two wingers that are very experienced, very skillful, very hard-working. I look at what we've got at the moment. Lingard, I just don't think he's a first-team player. Martial will be here next season, but it was a mixed season for him last year. I think a bit of experience for some of these younger lads to sort of learn from, and Costa is definitely available. So why wouldn't we go in for him? We spoke about three players there. Ronaldo, the pipe dream looks like it's over. Dembele will be one of the best players, I think, in world football. I just don't think we'll get him. I don't think we'll be even in for him. Costa, he ticks the box. Douglas Costa, he's just about to turn 27 in September, but prime years, very experienced. I think he's a decent shout, and I think a lot of people are looking at that. My only doubt would be, would we get Perisic and Costa? I don't know. Maybe we would. But certainly somebody of interest, and certainly I agree with a lot of you who go on about him. I do like him. I just want to bring De Gea in because De Gea is... It's an odd one because it's been building and building and building. I still go back to that old analogy I used on the Europa League build-up for the final of that, when our season against Ajax was basically one game. Our season was about one game. If we win it, we're in the Champions League and the season's a success. If we lose it, we're back in the Europa League and it's a failure. And we went into that game and we put Romero in goal. And yes, it was about loyalty, and loyalty seems to be a big thing at the moment, and sentimentality. But there is no doubting that if you had a garage and Romero and De Gea were cars, De Gea would be a Ferrari and Romero at best would be an Audi. You take your Ferrari out, and Mourinho didn't. And I just think that was more than sentimentality and loyalty to Romero, because if Romero had made a mistake that De Gea wouldn't have made, then you've just lost your whole season on a gamble. I think it was more to do with De Gea leaving this summer and Mourinho sort of giving him a bit of a kick up the backside. It might work. De Gea might stay, but I do think he'll go. I think when Florentino Perez is coming out and talking about it openly and saying, look, he's a United player at the moment, but we'll see what happens, that just shows that Real Madrid want him. The interesting things from the dressing room, that the players want Navas and Zidane wants Navas, just shows you how powerful the president is at Real Madrid. We've heard it with Bale before. He's a big Bale fan. But he wants De Gea. He wants the Spanish national goalkeeper in goal for Real Madrid. And I think they'll push it. And I think it will come down to De Gea. And if it's anything like it was a couple of years ago, then De Gea will want to go back to Spain. It's how we deal with that for Manchester United that concerns me. Because going back to Romero, I just sort of think that Mourinho might just think, you know what, I'll put Romero in goal and Pereira can be his backup. I don't think Romero is good enough over a season in the Premier League and the Champions League. I think he will make mistakes. He's a good goalkeeper, but we've had a world-class goalkeeper, and you should replace them with that. So I think this is a problem I wish we didn't have, because United have got so much to do this summer. There's so many players we need to bring in. There's so many players we need to bring to take out, without having to deal with losing a world-class goalkeeper in De Gea, who over the last 4 years has been our best player. He's been the most consistent performer by a long, long way. So on a normal summer, you'd be hoping that, if you look at someone like Spurs, they probably will sign players, but they've got a very settled team, a good team. They won't, they don't need to get rid of that many. They've got quite a settled summer. I'd wish United were in that position, because then you'd get rid of De Gea, in a position of settlement. But we're not. We need to bring players in, we need to take players out, and we're probably going to have to deal with De Gea. If De Gea can stay, which I don't think will happen, I will be ecstatic. It will be like the signing of the summer, because it's a massive problem not solved, and you've got a world class goalkeeper in the sticks. But see what happens. Get comments, and everybody give us your thoughts on the targets today. I think Dembele is the one that would excite everybody, but probably won't happen. Ronaldo, it's just acceptance. Some of you might think we've still got a chance. I'd be the best surprise ever. Douglas Costa, from Bayern Munich, and De Gea. And anybody else you want us to talk about, I must say, if there's people you want us to talk about, get commenting below. Remember to drop a like on the video. Back tonight live at 8:30. Probably still going to be on the Mark Goldbridge channel unless we can sort out the YouTube stuff. So keep an eye out for that. But thanks everybody for watching, and give us your thoughts below and drop us a like, and I'll speak to you all later. Have a great day.